Hello there, only One Kenobi here, only one. You join me on a lovely Saturday the 25th of March, and this is the brand new glass shelf that I got for the barge there, and yeah, I'm just ready to open the this. Boom. The Figrin Dan and Modal node set, the set of 7 figures. So I have 7 stands. I'm going to put them on in a minute when I open this, and yeah, just looking forward to getting that open in natural light. And yeah, things are just coming together with the room now. Still a lot of mess in here, but we'll get there in the end. What I'm going to do first is have a quick look at the actual Modal nodes I already own, which are on the shelf behind, so just one moment. And here we are on the Tatooine shelves, and specifically the Cantina shelf. Here are my original Modal nodes, except for this guy here is actually the vintage collection release of Figrin Dan, which I actually ended up opening in the end. Even though I had the set of 7 coming, I actually opened this one just to review him for my series, but the quick shot series. But this is the original Figrin Dan that came with the commemorative tin I bought these with, which are great figures. You know, they've done the job very nicely for a while now. Head sculpts are phenomenal, not much articulation, but you know, in terms of setting off the Cantina, they do. But this guy has been awesome. I really did enjoy reviewing him, and that's probably the reason why I bought the set of 7, because hell, you know, I knew that you can't beat multi-articulation, and although they're doing a job already on the shelf, look at this pose this guy's in, you know what I mean? Look at that. That's just awesome. You can never do that with the other figures. I will get the other ones off the shelf again in a minute once I've opened these and we can compare for comparison's sake. But that's one of many that I'm about to open. Anyway, if you want to get the full band of 7, man, this is your chance. And they're selling them on Pulse. This cost me quite a lot of walnuts, man. It cost me £92 or £91.99 UK sterling. So, but it works out about £13 a figure. So, do it before they double in price on the bloody secondary market. That's what I say. Anyway, so there is the front and there is the back. Seem identical, except for a few little bits of extra information there. Nothing much there, but I mean, that's the point of these sets anyway. They're supposed to be like, you know, army building sets or builder packs, and kind of have a no frills look to them, which is kind of cool in a way. So if you did want to keep this carded, you've got kind of a sleek, contemporary kind of no frills look to it. But I'm not keeping that carded. I'm getting these open, man. The only figures I keep carded are things like that, because you get the best of both worlds. You can see the figure, and you've got a beautiful card back with a vintage look, of course, as we know. That's why we love the vintage collection. But with these, you've got to open this, man. But there will be people out there keeping a mint, which I'm not one of them. Right, there's one seal right there for sellotape, so that is where I'm going to make my incision. Boom. I bet you any money these are packed with minimal plastic. And what do we look at what we have here? That's the first thing you see when you open it up. I don't know what that is. Look at that. That's an interesting contraption. I really want to get that one out first. It looks like some kind of stool. And then you've got this guy here. Should we start from left to right? That's usually the way I roll when I open these. And usually the guy on the left is the most important. So I reckon Figrin Dan is this guy here. We'll soon find out. See, all of them are going to be the same, aren't they? I don't want to sound speciesist, but they all look alike. And who is this? Ah, I mean, look at this. I mean, oh my god. I thought they'd all come with their instruments so we'd know who was who, but I think we're getting the idea that they are pretty much just, well, they're all identical. They'll know the difference between themselves, but we won't. Look at that. Have they got different markings, or are they literally identical? It's looking like they are going to be, well, yeah, obviously they're going to be identical, but as they look in the film. But I mean, as a figure, let's just have a look at the figure now. It'd be beautiful. That joint is great. Let's see if we can pop that out there. Yeah, it's one of those ones with the, you see, you can wiggle it. Barbell joint, whatever you want to call that. Be careful though, you gotta be careful. Oh, hang on. Oh, struggling there to get him back on. And you got that, you should be able to get that pigeon rocking back and forth motion. Certainly look down a lot better. Great. And I don't know what I'm going to do with my other ones. You know, the ones I just showed you, I might even put them in the barge, man. That would be awesome. Put them on the rooftop, like a rooftop gig, like the Beatles at Abbey Road, you know. Anyway, there's 2. And let's get a third one out. It's funny they packed two together on that one there. I bet the weapons are all just in one bag. It's a bit annoying. We don't know who Figrin Dan is, man. We want to know who the man is, even though they're identical. Just guess that we're going to have to get on with it and make a decision ourselves. Oh, my other idea for this guy here is, because I'm going to have two Figrin Dans articulated, I'm thinking of putting him with Barquin Dan, and I'll show you that very quickly now. Barquin Dan is here on my Jabba the Hutt shelf. So there's Barquin Dan. He's supposed to be either a cousin or a nephew of Figrin Dan. I can't remember. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. But he's the one you saw in the special edition. So he's not necessarily a legit OT Jabba's Palace, but he's certainly in the special edition. And is it Barquin you see playing with Max Rebo in the Book of Boba Fett? He's carked it now because they've set that bomb off in there. But still, anyway, back to the review. Now, I'm going to remind myself, how deep are the peg holes on these? They're alright, I guess. Yeah, they're okay. They could be deeper, man, couldn't they? Could be deeper, but at least they... Yeah, there's something going on there. And then we get that. Look at that piece. Do these pedals work? No, but they still look good. Look at that. So one of the dudes is going to sit on that, I guess. Be interesting if they put some peg holes. You might need toe peg holes there for it to work. But I guess, does he sit there like that? Does he? Whoever. There was one guy doing something in the movie New Hope, like messing around with a little gizmo. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out. At the minute, I'm getting a bit nervous here. Where the hell are their instruments, man? And then here we have another one. Bloody hell, tons of them. It's a shame they didn't, again, I'm repeating myself, but it's a shame they didn't individually wrap the instruments so we could just at least differentiate who is who. Although it doesn't really matter. Still would have liked Hasbro to have done that for some reason. What else? Now, finally, we're getting some instruments now. What the hell is this? Look at that gizmo. Look at that galactic horn. Cosmic horn, man. I guess that will go over someone's head. Let's try it. Wow, look at him. They've all got names. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh, look. Oh, wow, I see. So that goes right in his mouth. Got you. And he can just hold that like a bagpipe type thing. Oh, lost your focus there. There he is. Let's get him on a stand. All the joints are a little bit stiff, so I haven't got them into ideal position yet. They're just, they're just not being, they've just seized up a little bit, you know what I mean? But we'll loosen them up in a minute. Please have some bloody instruments in it. What's this? Oh yeah, one more band member. Should we make this guy Figrin Dan? Makes no difference. It'd be nice if he had an individual feature that distinguished him from everybody else. I might even just be tempted to use him since he's up and running. Use him as my Dan, because I definitely know that's Dan. You know what I'm saying? And then I've got a spare one for my Jabba shelf. Or even the barge, I might stick him in the barge. I was going to put the other set of 5 in the barge, wasn't I? Right. And in here... You're joking. Oh, thank God for that. There is another... Yeah, these will be the instruments. I was going to say, I thought these were the instruments. It's another one of these. Bloody hell. I feel like I've already counted 7. Right. And then finally, let's get these instruments out. And I will zoom in on those. I do not know what they're called, all these things, but no doubt they'll have a name. And here we are. All the instruments are laid out now. I might just put my hand there to focus on it. And these are 2 sticks. I'd have to look at, do you know what? I might consult the picture. We'll have a look at that in a minute. That's not working. Let me put this here. Will that work? Hang on. Yeah, man. There we go. So they look like 2 little sticks. I don't know if that's for the thing that guy was sitting in front of here. This guy, I don't know. And then that short thing there. I'm pretty sure he came maybe with 3 instruments. The one that came individually carded might have come with 3. So that's that. Look at that. What? What? Please don't tell me 2 of them have got a similar kind of bassoon style instrument that Dan uses. Or is that one shorter there? That's really disappointing, man. That's like, what? Figrin Dan has like a immediate equivalent. So oh my god, was it worth me buying this? Look at that, I was expecting a variety of different instruments. Although yes, you do get that. And you do get this, granted, that sit-down piece. And yeah, I suppose it would have worked out cheaper. But having said that, Star Action Figures were doing a big sale, weren't they? Of which you could have got him for £6 or £7 each. But then again, you wouldn't get these other additional pieces. Plus, you could recycle. Aha, there's a gizmo there. I'm going to get these off the shelf in a minute. And there's that thing there. That looks like the thing that is at the top of that stool. Look at that instrument there. Don't recall seeing that in the set that I've just opened. We'll have another look in a minute. Let me get these off the shelf and we'll study. But just before I do, check these instruments here. These are the other 2 that you get with the Vintage Collection individual release of Figrin Dan. So you get that figure there, Figrin Dan. And then these 2 instruments here, which are definitely in the set. I definitely saw that one on the shelf. I've just opened now. Definitely saw that one just now. And this, but I don't recall. This one here is almost like, wow, that kind of very clarinet-y looking gizmo. Let's have another look and see. Let me get them all off the shelf and check it out. Alrighty, so I've laid everything out now, so let's have a look at what we have. This is the old band, and you are looking right now at Figurative Dan. Figurative Dan? Oh, Figrin Dan. There's the one from the commemorative tin. This is the new guy. So just to show you both together side by side, and you can tell the instruments match. And then what I've done is I've shown you the rest of those guys, and on the floor here are the 2 instruments that came with the Figrin Dan solo issue. This guy, the individual release, and I've put that in front of him. Yeah, I did say that I didn't think that this was accounted for, this instrument here, but they've changed the design. They've obviously, this is supposed to be that. In fact, sorry, the light is behind us. It's very bright. That's better. So that's obviously fatter. Looks a completely different instrument, but this is what that's supposed to be. Maybe this is more accurate. You know, Hasbro have improved the design or whatever, and that is that. Do not know the name of the instrument, so you're either going to have to look that up or someone may put in the comments, but that's him. And then, of course, this fella is the one with the shorter type instrument, which is here. I laid that on the floor there. That's that one. And as I say, they both came with him in the individual carded release. So that's that. And then we've got this guy here with this gizmo, which is very similar to that. Although again, it looks completely different. I really don't know, man. It's like there could potentially be 9 members. In fact, there may be more than the 7. There was definitely 5 in the film. Am I right? I thought there were 5 in the film and there were 7 altogether, and 2 had a night off. But actually, somebody did come back to me, possibly Daniel Chart, and do you know what? He probably knows the name of every single member, every single instrument, because the guy is amazing. He just knows his stuff. But there's that, and that is, again, completely different from that. Do you know what, man? I'm changing my mind all the time. I'm actually thinking about recycling some of these, putting them on these articulated guys, man. Why not? Considering that, yeah, these are both the same. That's going to be Figrin Dan's horn. That's his, it's like a bassoon, isn't it? 2 identical in this pack here. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of one of them. I mean, even that's different, isn't it? And putting that in the hands of that, swapping that round. Maybe even introducing this instrument here, man. Get that out of his hands and put it into one of these guys as well. That means they will all have very different instruments. I swear to God, I might just do that, you know. I might just do it. But still, anyway, enough about that. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually try and set these guys up like they look here. So there's the actual official thing that we're supposed to be doing. So as you can see, there's 2 guys who could be potentially Figrin Dan. The guy on the left there, and there's him there. I presume the one in the middle is Figrin, but then there's this, which is that. I mean, what am I looking at? I don't get it, man. What is there? Is there anything in this box? That is this, right? That is this. So what the hell is he playing? He's got 2 sticks there. And what is it? I think there's something left in the box. I found it. It's here. You can tell this is live, ladies and gentlemen. I like to do things on the fly. Anyway, there's that there. That's great. Look at that. So it is worth getting this set, man. You're getting loads of accessories with it. You're getting figures, competitive price in this day and age. £13 something, 13 point summit a figure. But then you're getting all these accessories as well. But again, I'm serious, man. I might do a little bit of swapping around, man. I might do a little bit of recycling there. So that everything's different. I definitely don't want 2 guys blowing that horn there. That's for damn sure. So I'm either going to swap out this one from this old Figrin down and put that into someone's hands and put this one in here into the vintagey one. And that's the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely want to get that one on board too. Right, what a mess. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get things set up and then we can wrap this one up. But yeah, let's do that now. All right, man, all done now. And I'm really happy with this. Really good, really good. Even if you're somebody who has the commemorative tin, it has a future, you know what I mean? Well, I'll tell you why now again. You probably guessed already from what I've said before. But this, in fact, if you haven't ever got yourself Modal Node, get this set. All in there, man. It's great. And I've just thought I'd set them out. This is the guy on this instrument here. That's awesome. Look at him. He's brilliant. Just pop that in his hand as well. The short one. There's the longer one. You've got this crazy horn thing here. That's awesome, that instrument, man. I'm going to watch A New Hope again. It's just you sort of blink and you'll miss them. They're in there and they're swinging around. And there's this guy as well. He looks pretty cool with those sticks. And then that instrument. That's great, man. I mean, obviously there's a sound of steel drums when you hear this band playing. Obviously Johnny Williams did the music. And then I've just put these here just to spare, man. These are 2 extra figures. And then you got 2 of these. So I'm double checking here. These are pretty much, they are identical, these 2 here. Same length, same color, everything. But what I'm thinking of doing is, here's the other ones that you saw here before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's all 5 members that came in the commemorative tin. I think they're completely the same as the ones that were in Power of the Force 2. They might even have come in a white box as well of some kind, but they have soft goods on these ones. So there's them, and this is the one I opened a few months ago, or whenever it was I reviewed Figrin down on his own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in the band, and then I've got him. Hang on, so how many is that then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. This guy I'm going to put somewhere else, maybe even with one of these instruments here. In fact, no, I'm lying to you. I'll give him that, which is makes him Figrin down basically, and I might put him in either my barge or in Jabba's palace or somewhere else. And then this guy, I'm gonna swap again. See this here? This horn for Figrin down. I might put that in his hands and take this horn out. I'll do that now, actually. Bear with me. So he's holding now the newer of the horns, so I can stick them as a what do you call a 5-piece band? Cinquet? Cinco? Can't think now. There's a sextet. Cinquet, is it? Cinquet. Oh, bloody can't remember. Anyway, whatever. And then this guy at least has a different instrument to the other Figrin dance style horn. There you go. That the other fella's holding, that Figrin Dan is holding. So I might give this to him. How about that? So that's that. So I've got another member now, whatever his name is. In fact, if that one looks more like Figrin Dan's horn, I'll make him Figrin Dan. And then this guy is kind of spare, but now I have a choice of 3 instruments to give him. All these that came with the individual carded release of Figrin Dan. I might even just give him that. And put him with Barquin Dan. So you got the 2 family members together, playing for Jabba or wherever. But I'd like him maybe on the barge, or one of 2 of them in the barge. That'd be awesome. Put him in the Max Rebo band, man. Why not? They're all friends. It's all Tatooine. Anyway, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Bit of a whirlwind. And as you can see here, I've got one spare stand. And that is because this fella sits down, so you don't need a stand for him. That is awesome. Really enjoyed doing that, and they are amazing figures. Fully articulated. The best yet for Figrin Dan. And the modal nodes, I have been only one Kenobi. Only one. Out. Oh, additional. If you want to know where the spare instruments are going, they're going in here. In the Ark of the Covenant. Which I also keep in Jabba's palace. Thanks for watching. Only one Kenobi.